Hello, good afternoon. Are you a member?
43 shots at a man in his 20s. 12 bullets hit him. Officers rushed to the scene, the 5400 block of Baltimore Avenue, and took the victim.
Oh, that's who YBC do we talk about? Shout out to the DMV for somebody on Baltimore just got the belt. This who he be talking about? CCK versus YBC featuring Homicide. The war is on. All right, Jackson.
But that's not thorough, bro. You talking about forever disrespectful. Young boy, that's not your man. You did not grow up with cuz, bro.
That's my man. That's
bro.
my man. That's my man.
Blazing him because your young boy got his clothes on, bro.
I see it out on my flamey, but don't come up with water, my hands still red. Grab me some bleaching detergent, send that boy ass to the surgeon, they cutting his head, and they got stuck up his hand.
Yeah. Stop joining my live, bro. You got really stop that glazing, bro. Real right, bro. You said forever disrespectful, bro.
Facts,
man,
Ants.
that's what it
Ants,
is.
yours next,
Bro,
Ants.
got no little jazz post. He never read, posted just none of that on nothing. Nothing, you know? I never seen it.
A big apple die, I'm rolling the joint, they might see by the lead. You know I'm smoking on. You know I'm smoking on dog. You know I'm smoking on dog. Got popped in his eye, the nigga ain't watch what he said.
Bro, it don't like put your man doing the jails. He don't really fuck with them niggas. That's for music. All this. I had your man popping in there.
Hey, Buster, you hear it? You hear it?
Yeah, man, you just and you cleaned him as your man too.
Hey, Buster, what's wrong with young boy, Buster?
I had, yeah, bro, and he already pulled your card, bro. You can't be doing that shit for music. But you on here talking about very disrespectful. That's my man. Your man just told me a whole different story, bro.
I call him 42 nugget, this nigga is shredding the best shit I hit in some years. They tell me right in the gas, I know the step door. I know you can tell by the hair. She know I'm really a bull. I f***ed her cousin, she said that my body this year.
That's all who crib.
Only reason, bro, only reason you letting all this right now, bro, cause UT, bro, cause there's nobody touching us, bro. That's why.
That's not like thunder.
UT, cause nobody touching us. Nobody doing it to us.
Oh, bro. Like, all right, that's.
But we ain't gonna talk about that,
later, bro.
I ain't even gonna get
bro,
you started,
about, bro. Y'all don't get no fucking money, bro. Y'all don't got y'all wear dual clothes, bro. Y'all
what is that?
Joke, bro. What the?
4th of July?
You made at the 9 for it, bro.
If that's shooting, that means Philly don't. They so used to it that they just buys it and they just hear the shootings.
They ain't never do nothing for buys. I'm getting off live, bro. Cause you trying to get in the first. Yeah, bro.
Go chase it with down with the yacht, that's murder she wrote. Roll up a chase to the coat, blow like bloody game niggas put girl in the bottle. Now he keep rubbing his nose. We two turn the head, got turn up the throttle. Move, I make you a bowl. Burp in the back of the Drake is only a baby, it's still like 20 years old.
Between 2019 and 2021, Philadelphia saw a dramatic rise in homicides, peaking in 2021 with 562 killings, the highest total in the city's recorded history. The trend began in 2019.
Look, that's when them boys got locked up.
The highest total in the city's recorded history. The trend began in 2019 with 356 homicides, then surged during the COVID-19 pandemic to 499 in 2020 and 562 in 2021. Those 2021 numbers pushed the city's homicide rate to about 35 per 100,000 residents, nearly double the rate just 2 years earlier. Since then, however, the numbers have steadily declined. Philadelphia recorded 516 homicides in 2022, followed by 410 in 2023. In 2024, the city saw a major drop to just 269 homicides, marking its lowest count in over a decade. The estimated murder rate for 2024 was around 16.9 per 100,000 residents, about half the number seen during the peak years. This downward trend could be credited in at least some large part to the efforts of Larry Krasner and the teams he's put together to tackle the major issues. Krasner's philosophy of law enforcement tries to get to the problem of the mass chaos and violence we see play out on the news every night by grappling with straw purchasers, gun traffickers, and illegal transfers. Along with the shooters, he felt this would put a dent in the illegal gun economy. But as it worked, in April of 2024, DA Krasner announced the formation of a new specialized unit within the district attorney's office aimed at targeting people, both adult and juveniles, who are repeatedly caught with illegal guns in the city. The newly created PGOU, or Prolific Gun Offenders Unit, will focus on prosecuting what they call serious gun-related offenses. He also mentioned the expansion of the Gun Violence Task Force, or the GVTF, the unit assigned with gathering intelligence on what they call street groups, who we know as the Sets and Blocks, or gangs of Philly. ADAs, or assistant district attorneys in this office, work with the bail hearings to make sure people they call serious offenders don't get out on bail. I've said it on this channel time and time again. Krasner is one of those DAs that will talk to these gangs through press conferences. Now, of course, these aren't negotiations, but they are discourse, unlike other DAs in the past. Krasner will mention them by name, and the rappers who represent those gangs sometimes respond in their music.
Today we want to send a very clear message to the members of O to the 4. You like that name? How about go to the jail? Because that is where you're going to go. Get ready, O to the 4, to go to the jail. Because that is what's going to happen. That is what justice looks like, and that is what you deserve.
He said O to the 4.
There's not much of you left. That's why you're starting CCK. CCK.
That's Lil Bugsy. CCK
is going away.
Made up, they nobody. I'm innocent, I never shot nobody. And I pick your best
YBC, sometimes known as the Young Bag Chasers, has a new name. The new name is You've Been Charged. And the new
instead of You've Been Charged instead of Young Bad Chasers. I ain't gonna lie. He sound like, yo, if y'all ever be seeing the Polk County sheriff from in Florida, he be doing stuff like that, bro.
Yeah, he do.
Your name is You've Been Convicted.
You've been convicted. Yo.
I know when they die, they probably be like, good. Get his ass out of there.
B and G, which stands for the Big Natty Gang.
Told me run my movie before it stopped because them feds coming.
Krasner will tell them to, quote, stop it, or he'll dismantle their whole operation, especially the ones perpetrating the most violence. After stopping the 524 versus O to the 4 war, Krasner then watched as O to the 4 morphed into CCK and the cycle of violence continued. I've covered this story from almost every angle, so you can watch those videos. As a matter of fact, I've made a YBC and a CCK playlist for y'all to check out. The problem is, Krasner can make these announcements and threats, but the morals and logic of the street will never change. Retaliation is a must, and that's one of the many problems Krasner and any DA, cop, or task force is going to run into in this city.
Breaking overnight, an ambush and murder on a West Philadelphia street. Police say 4 men got out of a car and fired 43 shots at a man in his 20s. 12 bullets hit him. Officers rushed to the scene, the 5400 block of Baltimore Avenue, and took the victim.
Oh, that's who YBC do we talk about? Shout out to the DMV, but somebody on Baltimore just got the belt. This who he be talking about? Bruh.
Center, but he could not be saved. The search for the shooters continues. Why the man was targeted remains a mystery. Police say they have recovered surveillance video of the crime.
A month after the April 2024 announcement of the expansion of the DF, a beloved figure from CCK was killed. With 6 brothers and sisters and 6 cousins, the love for Cuadair Cheeks was immense. In his obituary, adjectives like silly, laid back, and loyal were used by family to describe him. His smile was also noted, as they said it was always on his face. His friends called him Qua. His IG handle was Qua55, suggesting he was from around the 55th Street area in West Philly. Police shared surveillance images they say shows the people believe responsible for the May 18th, 2024 ambush-style slaying of Qua outside a Chinese store in West Philly. In a video that police have shared on social media, a vehicle that officials said was used by the suspected gunman can be seen moving along the 5400 block
There's cameras everywhere,
on the evening of May 18th.
So why they don't get
according
caught?
to police, around 10:48 p.m. that evening.
Just because they don't get caught right away don't mean they won't get caught.
2018
Just because they don't catch them right away don't mean they're
with
not
dark
still on the list of getting fucked up though.
windows and silver trim lines along the lower portion of the driver and passenger side doors ambushed Cuadair Cheeks as he walked past the Chinese store on Baltimore Ave. The gunman fired, striking Quad multiple times throughout his body, officials said. Law enforcement said Cuadair Cheeks succumbed to his injuries he sustained in this incident around 11:18 p.m. that evening.
Them niggas running with they hots, they need some different friends. Like, why the fuck y'all got them Glocks? Who gave y'all niggas gins? We got 4 Vs, 5%, big body Benz.
We got 4 Vs, 5%, big body Benz.
This shit so deep, catch my cousin in public, you know I'm up it. And I got a drum in this bitch, and ain't no way I'ma stop dumping. We went from bending in them Chevys to bouncing out of Benz.
To this day, Quad's murder remains unsolved, and this is where it gets tricky.
Not one, but 2 high school students were shot yesterday afternoon near the intersection of Belmont and Westminster Avenues. The family of one of the victims tells Action News they were waiting for the bus after leaving Philadelphia Learning Academy South High School. A 16-year-old was killed after he was shot multiple times in the chest, while a 17-year-old was shot in the arm. He managed to run home after the shooting. Still no word on any suspects or the possible motive in this shooting.
A man is dead after a shooting in Philadelphia. He was shot at Preston Street and Lancaster Avenue in University City around 10 o'clock last night. Police say the man was rushed to the hospital in extremely critical condition and later died. So far, no arrests.
While Krasner's administration is boasting to the public about how good the murder rate is, meanwhile, there are unsolved murders that could be fueling a lot of the violence we see play out on the news. The only reason I say that is because the rappers themselves will tell you which murders to them matter the most. In a March 2025 Inquirer article about YBC, the author of the article, L.E. Rushing, near the beginning talked about Zaire Stafford. Called Booga by friends and family, it read, Stafford's killing and the emotional trauma inflicted on his loved ones are emblematic of a disturbing trend driving gun violence in Philadelphia and other cities. Crews of young men have discovered that rap songs celebrating murders can earn them notoriety and money. The video mocking Stafford's death has been viewed online more than 5 million times. Stafford, 22, was
You remember that?
Yeah.
not directly involved in the gang feud that led to his killing, but his brother was, police said. And so, to YBC, he was fair game in the war, which remains unsolved, became fodder for the celebration of bloodshed that is part of YBC's signature brand, and a way for members to profit from the killings, the article read. Booga isn't mocked because it's funny he died at McDonald's. He's mocked because they know it will hurt the people they want to hurt. In this case, his brother, Sani. Another person YBC and Nonside like to make an example out of was Qua. Qua was a heavy trapper and allegedly involved with the CCK crew. The ops hated Cuadair. They would mock him relentlessly in music and other ways.
He was lurking on that side, my nigga dropped a dozen. Fuck you, Rizzy, I sold a pound of cloth for 5,500. Ooh, damn, 5,500. Chase Quad down, he was running around, nobody for the block, that's murder, she wrote. If I got hit all in his back, that shit came out his chest. They had did that shit to Kai, so he got put to rest. That nigga dropped his fries, came out in Crocs, that's 2 niggas in my big. Sid got cooked in his house, Quad got cooked coming out. Quine Bug make button twins, he lost his mate brother. I used to sell Nixon Hayes, trying to walk on Baltimore for a nigga jumped out on him different ways.
He had his head down in his phone and bro, she jumped out, cooked him. We not beefing with them niggas, they some fucking victims. I'm smoking Luke Marley and Quads, funny how they died.
Morning, nigga sent him up. I can't believe that nigga went out trying to get some butt. He should've tucked in and stayed down, but now that nigga stuck. Like, why the fuck y'all got them Glocks? Who gave y'all niggas gins? We got 4 Vs, 5%, big body Benz.
They jumped out on Quad 4 deep, now gang rape and poppin'. We the reason
Yo,
it only.
Quad name come up like his name Tuka. That's the Philly Tuka at this point.
These niggas dying, so let me change the time. Wait, we had bounced out on the 4D at the driving, now we the Jackson. I ain't Quad die trying to get some button nigga like me. I wasn't fucking dead.
However, the love for Qua by CCK members was intense. Skino made a whole album dedicated to the memory of Qua and mentions him in almost every song he made.
Perilous face get exposed, RP5, he stuck to the code. I'm mad at you left me out here, I'm still on my grind, I'm trapping for you. I'm mad you snipe in the sky while I'm still down here in the field where it's cold. We stepped in the view with our shooters and I've been filling my clip to the full. Go, if I was just getting the racks, I miss him on the team. I still be talking to 5, I put that on me, I tell you my dreams. I still be crying about 5, I ain't get no sleep since mid-18.
When YBC Duel was alive, he would take every chance he got to
And
mock
now he
Qua.
dead.
Qua appeared alongside Sani, Young Liv, Skino, Deke Loco, Lil Kai, and others as they would diss some of Duel's closest friends like J100 and BK. He also would diss Nonside members like Boz. He was in a video, SOB, by Lil Kai and Deke Loco, where they talk about the death of their friend K3, and once again, take the chance to diss Bias from Nine-Side, among others.
I kill again, the CCK my smile again. But we gotta drop a word in V, I'm hopping in. Caught him at that bus stop, I got you, man.
Nine-Side Bias is another person who gets mocked heavily, and there appears to be a lot of violence behind his death. Now follow me real quick. Basil Garrison was fatally shot on November 8th, 2021, a Monday, on the 3800 block of Fairmount Ave, leaving school. The shooting occurred at a bus stop, which was filled with children. On IG, he went by the Bull Bias. Bias had associations with JOG/Nine-Side and was cool with 524 members. After Bias' death in 2021, no arrests were made, even though a reward for $20,000 existed. No info came forward on his murder, and that seems to be a broken record. With that being said, the streets, as always, knows the answers. If the law wasn't going to solve the crime, then street justice would follow. The streets, however, are a lie. There are no rules, and they don't play fair. Bias would go on to be dissed by CCK members, and no matter which way you slice it, a beloved 16-year-old being killed, we all know what follows after that. Back and forth war, which to this day is still going on.
When they left, he met that stop. I heard they did that shit for 3. He got hit up at that stop. Y'all wasn't there. Why did y'all leave him? Fuck that nigga, bitch. But now it's war. My fault, bro ain't mean it. They diss on the clabbers, but the clabbers ain't get touched. Don't diss on the 3s. The last one got stuck at a bus. Them bullets beaten by a chest, Gorilla Joe. By that bus stop, he caught them mix shots right by the liver.
So everybody rapping about the same nigga and none of their ass did the kill. Cause all of y'all didn't do it.
On November 16th, 2022, YBC member J100 will release a video with fellow members Mir Pab, T.O., and YBC Duel. Much like any YBC video from these years, everyone in the video is dead or in jail.
Every nigga that you see me with, they gon' blow. Face shot on that side and they go. You ain't up to score in this shit while you front. You know you just a wreck, you ain't never hop out cut. Bro ain't shooting 3s, he get close and he duck it. Oh, I heard they both died on that drill, that's a duck.
Jay talks about a rapper in this song, in this case being Young Liv, never, quote, doing nothing, meaning he's not an active part of the war, he just raps. He then goes on to mock K3 and Snipe, who were killed the previous summer, and YBC/YFA members were eventually convicted of that murder. Well, 3 weeks later, it was J100 that would be killed, and in turn, mocked. The ops learned Jay was shooting a music video at a friend's house on a 4300 block of Paris Street. As Ty J100 Brooks waited outside for an Uber, he was shot and killed. J100 was dissed relentlessly by Young Liv, Sonny Goon, and other CCK members for years on end, and to this day.
Nigga said he was 100. Watch him turn to some change. Bet picket lane, don't have him finding all these fragments in your brain.
He said he thought he was 100. Why you turn to change?
How was you a chaser? If you see me, you gon' run a couple hundred for the J's, but I'ma smoke him with the bum. Fucking roll him up, broski. I don't even care. Looter pack and bring me out. We put 100 in the air. He made a diss and I got dropping. None of them niggas dropping tears.
YBC Duel didn't name songs, albums, and weed strands after Sonny's brother only because he thinks it's funny. YBC has a mission and a target on Sonny Goon specifically. Why do they want to hurt Sonny so bad? Just put 2 and 2 together. Sonny Goon makes it his mission to diss J100 from YBC and Bias from Nine-Side.
J100 walked out the crib, ain't people hurt. The young funeral arranges dig a hole. That's where they hate me on the drills, I do the most.
Each gang says the same thing. If you diss my man, if you're in the pictures or the videos or around the people dissing, you're considered fair game. But we all know this flawed worldview will lead to a few places, death or jail, and the killing of innocent people. All these murders appear to be connected, or at least retaliation for one another. This is a cycle of violence that never stops. Since 2021, Larry Krasner has made it perfectly clear in press conferences that his mission was to stop the cycle of drill rap violence and to target the ones most likely to be doing the shooting. Dozens of drill rappers and their associates have been arrested and convicted over the years. Data shows that from 2022 to 2024, Philadelphia saw a significant drop in shootings and homicides, with 2024 marking the city's lowest homicide total since 2016, as I said earlier. By focusing resources on high-risk individuals and the gangs, Partnering with law enforcement intelligence units and advocating for bill reform that balances public safety with due process, Krasner has redefined prosecution in Philadelphia. His administration's efforts have helped the city begin to reverse the surge in violence seen during the pandemic, showing signs that a smart-on-crime strategy can work without returning to the outdated tough-on-crime policies. Despite his reputation as a national figure in progressive prosecution, Larry Krasner has faced intense criticism throughout his tenure as Philadelphia's district attorney. One of the most consistent concerns is the declining conviction rate for illegal gun possession, falling from 63% in 2017 to 49% in 2021, which critics argue sends the wrong message in a city plagued by gun violence. His office has also clashed repeatedly with the Philadelphia Police Department and the Fraternal Order of Police, the police union, who accused Krasner of undermining law enforcement morale and fostering an anti-police climate. Very little evidence supports those claims, however. Many officers claim his policies discourage proactive policing, contributing to an environment where accountability for violent crime has weakened. Krasner also came under fire for how his office handles cases involving victims' families, with multiple complaints about poor communication and plea deals offered without family input. During the city's record-breaking homicide spikes in 2020 through 2022, critics linked the surge to Krasner's reform policies, particularly his decision not to prosecute certain low-level offenses and his emphasis on decarceration. In 2022, Pennsylvania Republicans even led a historic impeachment attempt against him, citing alleged, quote, misbehavior in office. While Krasner and his supporters argued that many of these criticisms are politically motivated and overlook long-term goals, his opponents believe his reforms have come at too high a cost to public safety. Recent numbers dispute those critiques. Attorney General Dave Sunday and law enforcement partners announced the arrest of multiple felons recently found in possession of illegal guns, some who are connected to recent acts of violence in Philadelphia. The 7 individuals arrested were either on parole, probation, or under bail conditions, and were allegedly carrying weapons unlawfully, often without a license. The sting began in early July. One of the most high-profile arrests involved 20-year-old Askia Tisdale, or Skino 2 times from CCK. Skino fled to a rooftop as agents executed a warrant at a home on North 6th Street. Skino was wanted in connection with a February shooting during a music video filmed on
nigga with the pink pants and all that.
Nigga on
North 12th Street, and he was taken into custody in a nearby house. The February shooting mentioned was in North Philly. Sonny Goons and Bucks from CCK are already booked, and we all saw how the YBC story played out. Their main rival, CCK, is caught up fighting Krasner as well as the ops. Authorities recovered a loaded polymer handgun or ghost gun with an extended magazine from the home that Skino was in. He's now facing felony firearms charges with the bail set at $500,000. 6 other arrests were made unrelated to CCK. Attorney General Sunday made sure to highlight the seriousness of illegal guns, especially those equipped with switch devices that convert handguns into fully automatic weapons. Police Commissioner Kevin Bethel praised the joint efforts that led to those arrests, calling it a major step towards disarming repeat offenders and reducing gun violence in Philadelphia neighborhoods. Please note that all individuals are presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Coming up on American Confidential, a look at the life of prominent Joe.
Now you know the CCK and YBC beef from the inside out.
I still can't believe. What is it? YB Duel?
Yeah, YBC Duel.
YBC Duel. That nigga was the fucking honcho of trolling, and now he can't even talk.
You gotta send them in the Discord, Brody. I ain't gonna lie. The last one we doing is we gotta do ants. We gotta do ants. We doing Digga D. But send that in the Discord.
What's ants?
His request.
I'm saying what he saying.
Digga D. Will Vince will do that for him. I ain't gonna lie.